Well, leading us off this afternoon, the National Weather Service confirming a total of 6 tornadoes in Arkansas as Beryl made its way through the state. Thanks for choosing us. I'm Jurnee Taylor. As we reach the halfway mark in the week, meteorologist Nathan Scott is in the Weather Center following new updates as they come in. Nathan, what can you tell us more about the impact of the tornadoes that we saw in the natural state?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. The National Weather Service continues to go out and do surveys across southwest Arkansas, South Arkansas. So this number will be changing, and most of these tornadoes were EF1 status, which is typical. They didn't last very long. For the most part, they only last about 2, 3, maybe as much as 4 or 5 miles, but they did do some damage, and you can see 2 reported in Jefferson County, 2 reported in Dallas County, 1 reported in White County, and the latest one was reported to make its way from Ouachita County into Nevada County. So the grand total for the year now is up to 41 tornadoes. On average for the entire year, we typically have 37. It is all quiet out there across central Arkansas at this time, but there are a few stray showers trying to pop up with the daytime heating. As you can see, if you use your eagle eyes, you got 1 lone shower popping up in Johnson County, also another shower trying to pop up in Polk County. Your temperatures right now, not too bad. 86 is the temperature here in the capital city, and those heat indices kept in check. They're only a few degrees warmer. The heat index numbers, they will be going up as we go into the next 7 days. I'll have more on that forecast in your weekend forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, new this afternoon, thousands are back with power now that Beryl has moved past our state. When we checked yesterday, the number of outages were just over 7,000. Crews have been putting in overtime restoring power for nearly all of those customers. Now, a little over 500 customers in southwest and west Arkansas remain without power at this hour. The storm may be gone, but we still could feel its impact for a while now. Powerful rain caused roads to collapse in Little Rock, forcing officials to shut down parts of Bowman Road. Today, we're hearing from city officials who tell us it was most likely caused by a failed pipe and could take weeks before being fixed.
It's a pipe that we're more than likely, it's not something that's going to be on the shelf, so to speak. We'll actually have to have the manufacturer build that section of pipe for us.
At this hour, there's no timeline on when the repairs will be made. However, the city is asking for your cooperation and patience as they work to get it done. It was 5 years ago in 2019 when a levee breach sent shockwaves across Conway during a time of record flooding in the state. But today, that same levee is proving to withstand the pressure. These images are from that day in 2019, showing severe damages to the Lolly levee. Our crews followed the story extensively, taking you through moments of evacuation orders that were sent out to finding out the water pressure that caused the breach. Even still, the levee held up and was quickly repaired. Now that brings us to today, where a recent storm drew up some anxiety over history repeating itself. But as official tells us this afternoon, that wasn't the case, as they've been keeping the levee up to date since that scare in 2019. So when storms like Beryl pose a threat, the people in Conway have one less thing to worry about.
And a lot of the work that the levee board does out here, it's nice to know that that they're quietly working behind the scenes, and should something happen that might or may be catastrophic, that we've got our bases covered.
Keeping the levee in tip-top shape means constantly replacing storm drains and flap gates to ensure water can be drained.
All the residents that are still there, including me and my son, we are sick. I mean, physically sick.
What you just heard from was from a year ago, as one mother represented several tenants dealing with tough living conditions at the Big Country Chateau complex. 1 year later, we're hearing from those same tenants on improving conditions after the city decided it was time to get involved.
I'm safer. My son is safer. My service cat is safer. I don't have to worry about us going to the hospital because we can't breathe. And that's the biggest thing.
Broken AC and bug-infested units drove residents to move on to safer places after Big Country shut down. Now new standards are in place, forcing landlords to provide sanitary conditions. And for one group, they're thanking the city for hearing their concerns and say this fight is far from over.
It is not all that we need. Certainly we need changes in state law, that's a different story, but there's more the city can do.
People like Neil are calling on groups like Arkansas Renters United to keep shining a light on the need for better protections for renters. Well, just hours ago, the Arkansas Special Olympics celebrated as they broke ground on a brand new building. The old building was flooded out by an ice storm in 2021, but just this morning, Governor Sanders joined alongside North Little Rock Mayor Terry Hardwick to turn the page on a new chapter.
Be able to expand, create more opportunities, more programs, expand some additional staff as well.
The organization CEO says construction will start next month, and they're hoping to have it done by next spring. You can catch this full story and hear from one of the athletes tonight at 6, right here on THV 11. Well, today we're learning more on the set of parents charged with multiple counts of neglect after leaving their kids inside a hot car during a trip to Children's Hospital. These two on your screen are spending the afternoon behind bars. Today we learned that the case is being handled by both Jacksonville and Little Rock police, with LRPD adding on a set of first-degree murder charges. It starts with the Rowlands family taking their 3-year-old to be seen at the hospital shortly after someone tipped off police about possible child abuse. After arriving, they discovered 4 other children outside in a hot car, and unfortunately, a 2-year-old died. The other 3 kids were taken to CPS, and the parents were arrested on capital murder charges. Just hours ago, a jury listened as open arguments got underway in the Alec Baldwin trial, as the actor hopes to avoid spending up to 18 months in prison. Baldwin is up against an involuntary manslaughter charge after accidentally firing a prop gun on set, killing cinematographer in the midst of filming the movie Rust. 12 jurors must now decide if Baldwin should be convicted of a felony, but he is insisting not to take the fall for the trigger going off.
I would be surprised if they're able to impanel a jury that is not familiar with Mr. Baldwin's work as an actor. People may allow that to affect their decision one way or the other.
Opening arguments are being heard as we speak. We'll have the newest details tonight at 5 and 6. At this very moment, President Biden is pushing through a packed agenda as he welcomes world allies to Washington. Natalie Brand shares how both presidential hopefuls are firing up the campaign trail.
President Biden, meeting with union leaders in Washington Wednesday, is trying to shore up the support of key groups that back his campaign as he tries to prove he's still up for the job.
It's all about whether or not we're going to grow the economy, whether we're going to give working people a shot.
This afternoon, the president welcomes NATO leaders during this critical week for his political future.
Joe's own party now wants him to throw in the towel and surrender the presidency after a single 90-minute performance.
Former President Trump capitalized on President Biden's struggles post-debate as he returned to the campaign trail, joining him Florida Senator Marco Rubio, one of the names on his potential VP shortlist.
I think they probably think I'm going to be announcing that Marco's going to be vice president.
With polling that shows Trump ahead in key battleground states, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet went public with this warning.
Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide and take with him the Senate and the House.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was asked this morning if she wants President Biden to remain at the top of the ticket.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short.
President Biden is set to hold a news conference Thursday, which many see as a major test. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
And as Biden attempts to win over his party, some Democratic senators are still unsure about his ability to secure the vote come November. Rising heat can sometimes affect the way we act. After the break, the signs to watch out for that'll help you cool down before it's too late.
And on this July the 10th, it's going to be a pretty nice day across central Arkansas. Temperatures warming up to the upper 80s to lower 90s. Small chance of a stray shower. Heat and humidity. We'll be returning my 7-day forecast. I'll let you know when next.